Hello there guys, and welcome to Sunday's live stream for the last parts of this weekend's British Grand Prix, before obviously the Young Driver System. I'm JWF1 and we're going to kick things off today with race 2 of IFMC GP3 here at Silverstone. If you didn't see what happened yesterday in race 1, Josef Newgarden completely dominated the field and went on to take the victory and retake the lead in the Drivers' Championship as a result, with Lucas Di Grassi getting second place, getting American Engineering's first ever podium, I believe, and coming in third in only his one-off appearance this weekend was Sérgio Sette Câmara. A very surprising third place for the Willows racing driver, and all three of them looking to do a good job today. Well, as you know, the top 8 gets reversed, and as you can see, it leaves Nick Heidfeld on the pole position ahead of a former BMW Sauber teammate in real life, Robert Kubica. Very interested to see if they're able to keep back Michael Elation, who is in the Horizon Motorsport car, in third, but we'll wait and see. We've got 12 laps of action for race 2. So before we start then, guys, let's mute this, turn this up a little, and let's have a look at the grid for race 2 here at Silverstone. Here we go then. So on pole position, it's Nick Heidfeld with Robert Kubica in second. Michael Elation lines up in third with Sébastien Buemi in 4th position. It is then Ferdinand Habsburg who starts 5th with Sérgio Sette Câmara in 6th. Lucas Di Grassi starts 7th with yesterday's winner Josef Newgarden in 8th. Santina Ferrucci lines up in 9th with Will Power in 10th position. Daniil Kvyat is in 11th, Daniil in 12th in the other American Engineering car. Felipe Nasr starts 13th, alongside him is Antoine Hubert in the KR Racing car in 14th. Nico Kari starts 15th, Marco Andretti 16th in the Auto Jamaica. Carl Kaiser starts 17th with Antonio Fulwaco in 18th position. Ayo Vinio starts 19th with Anthony Davidson in 20th position. And on the back row of the grid, it's the two men who crashed out yesterday. Jack Aitken is in 21st and Jenson Button is in 22nd and last. And that is the grid for race 2 here at Silverstone. So there is the grid then, guys, for race number 2, and the weather, of course, being bright and sunny. So leave your predictions, but without further ado, let's get to race 2 of IFMC GP3. So here we are then on the grid. Heidfeld on the right, Kubica on the left. Who's going to get the lead into turn 1 as we wait for the 5 red lights to go off to signify the start of race 2 here at Silverstone. And it'll be very interesting to see who leads it coming out of Cop's corner now then. And we look at Heidfeld now then. So 1 light is on, 2 lights are on, 3 lights are on, 4 lights are on, 5 lights are on. And it is going for race 2 here at Silverstone. It's a good start from Heidfeld, who gets a better start than what Kubica does. Kubica starts behind a good start from Buemi. He's looking to try and attack Kubica if he can, to try and make it a Kennystar 1-2. As it comes down towards the first corner, everybody I think gets through okay. Habsburg maintains his position at the start now then, as it all go around Cop's corner for the first time today. Good start from Button to get up to 19th. Aitken bring up the rear of the field, but it's Heidfeld who leads, but Kubica having an attack on him there for second place. Buemi looking for any opportunity to pass the ball as well, trying to help out his teammate in the best way possible as they go around Beckett's now then for the first time today. Around Chapel now then. Buemi trying to get a run on Kubica if he can, as it comes down the hanger straight now then. Buemi in the slipstream of Kubica. He's going to look to the inside, but Kubica's caught onto Heidfeld's slipstream. Heidfeld defends, but Kubica finds a gap down the inside into Stowe corner now then, as Kubica just got enough momentum coming out of Stowe corner. Buemi looking at any opportunity to pounce. Heidfeld still sticking with Kubica as we go towards Vale. Heidfeld just able to hang on to the lead as Buemi now tries to dive it down the inside of Kubica into Vale now. Then they came closer contact round their few club corner. Kubica just able to hold on. Elation looking for any opportunity to pounce upon. Buemi just able to hang it around the outside, I think, to keep hold of third place now then as they go around club corner. And so that's pretty much that then, really. Aitken still bring up the rear, but Heidfeld's got a bit of a gap now in front of Kubica after him fighting with Buemi. Buemi catching back into Kubica's slipstream now then as they come up towards Prix now then for the first time today. Breaking down to this corner as Habsburg tries to have a look at Elation, but Elation shuts the door at the same time, trying to fend off from Sette Câmara and even the new championship leader Josef Newgarden as well, who's made his way up through the field after starting in 8th place. Heidfeld, as mentioned, got a bit of a gap. Kubica just holding up a train, it appears, as they come through Luffield now then. out of Luffield B we go now then as they come towards Woodcote. So at the end of lap 1 of 12 then, here at Silverstone, it is Heidfeld who leads, Kubica in second, closely followed by Buemi in third, Elation fourth, Habsburg fifth, and Sette Câmara rounding out the top 6, but Newgarden trying to look to the inside of him, if he can, as Habsburg looks to the inside of Elation. Buemi not close enough to make a pass, Habsburg trying to have a look, Elation shuts the door on him there, same with Sette Câmara on Newgarden, shutting the door round Cop's corner now then as Buemi looks to the inside of Kubica, into Maggots now then, will he get the move done? No, Kubica just shutting the door through into the first part there, then into Beckett's we go, then round the second part before approaching Chapel. Will Buemi try and get a run on him down the hanger straight, same with Habsburg on Elation, and Newgarden on Sette Câmara down the hanger straight. Buemi looking to the outside, not very wise from the Swiss driver, has to back out of that one, same with Habsburg there then, and Newgarden did the same thing, but going to Sette Câmara, take advantage of Habsburg. Now Habsburg defending the inside into Stowe corner to keep on of that place for the moment as they all go around Stowe corner now. Then will Buemi try and dive it down the inside of Kubica into Vale. He looks like he's not close enough. He's going to keep single file into this corner, as I think it looks like they're slowly starting to catch back up to Heidfeld, it appears, who has got a little bit of a gap in front of the moment. Heidfeld looking to grab his first victory since Season 2 at Valencia, when he was part of the now defunct Republic of Ireland racing team, as they go around Abbey now. Then the flat out left-hander before going down through Bridge corner. Buemi still trying to attack Kubica. Will he try and dive it down into Priory? In the slipstream goes Buemi, and he stays single file, doesn't risk a dive down the inside as Habsburg goes defensive because Sette Câmara is pressuring him at the moment. Grassi trying to feed himself into that battle. In fact, he's trying to fend off from a group of cars behind him at this stage, one consisting of Will Power in the El Dorado, as Kubica looks to try and get away from Buemi, but struggling to do so at this stage. Elation slowly cozying up to that battle for second place now then, as they go around Woodcote for the second time today. And now up towards Cop's corner we go. Heidfeld now setting the fastest lap of 1:31.998, so he's currently holding on to the bonus point for the fastest lap of the race as they all sprint round Cop's corner now then. Buemi looking for an opportunity to pounce on Kubica now then as they go up towards Maggots and Beckett's. Buemi looking to try and make it a Kennystar 1-2 if he can. Round Maggots, through Beckett's, and then they'll approach Chapel very soon. Buemi trying to break that a little bit later through the second part of Beckett's, through Chapel now then. Buemi trying to get a run on Kubica if he can. Down the hanger straight we go. Down the hanger straight, he's going to look to the inside. Can he try and get enough momentum on Kubica? But it just looks like Kubica's just got enough of an edge down to that corner, and as a result Buemi has to tuck back, doesn't risk a dive. But it's Sette Câmara down the inside of Habsburg, but Habsburg just able to hang it around the outside to keep on the place, and now Câmara in the clutches of Newgarden yet again in this race as they come down towards Vale Club. Newgarden thinks about it, but Sette Câmara shuts the door, probably just letting Câmara know I'm right behind you there, as he tried a little look into Vale. Now up towards the flat out Abbey corner, this left-hander now then. Buemi still trying to find a way through on Kubica at this stage. Flat we go through that left-hander before approaching Bridge corner now then. Buemi's going to look to the inside into Bridge, and again Kubica shutting the door through to that right-hander. Habsburg trying to close back into Elation, but not close enough to make a pass on him this time around. So far it looks like he will retake the lead in the Drivers' Championship with Newgarden outside the points, but it will be 1 point between Habsburg and Newgarden by the end of this race. Of course, as just mentioned, Habsburg, if it stays like this, will retake the lead in the Drivers' Championship as they go through Luffield B now then, and approaching Woodcote now then goes Heidfeld. Meantime, Kubica still trying to fend off from Heidfeld's teammate Buemi through Woodcote, and it looks like Kubica's now pulling a bit of a gap. Heidfeld sets another fastest lap, but he's then taken by Habsburg with a 1:31.761 as he's down the inside of Elation into Cop's corner. Can he make this work out? No, he can't. Elation still able to fend him off at this stage now then as they go up towards Maggots and Beckett's now then. And Buemi just trying to get a run through into these corners to see if he can get a lunge on him down the hanger straight, trying to break that a little bit later than the Polish driver, but it looks like Kubica's just got enough of an edge in front of Buemi at this stage as they go down the hanger straight now. They're on lap 4 of 12 then here at Silverstone, and Heidfeld currently leading the way at this stage. Kubica trying to harry him down again for the lead as he pulls a bit of a gap on Buemi, as Elation looks like he had to go a little bit defensive there as Habsburg tried to have an attack on him there, but didn't quite work out for him there then, so he keeps hold of the place for the moment. It looks like Sette Câmara had to go at Habsburg there, but Habsburg shutting the door, probably too focused on Elation in front of him at this stage to worry about him behind, as through the left-hander goes Heidfeld, as he'll now head down the hill towards Bridge Corner now then on the track, and he's still got quite a decent gap in front of his former BMW Sauber teammate in real life, Robert Kubica. Into Priory we go, and just flicking the car in through the left-hander before approaching Brooklands. And Heidfeld doing a good job out in front of this stage. As long as he doesn't make a mistake, he should be okay. But at the same time, Kubica try and harry him down. But as I say that, looks like Buemi is starting to close back into the slipstream. Excuse me. Into the slipstream of Kubica as he tries to get second place from Buemi, as Heidfeld sets the fastest lap now, a 1:31.752. Will Habsburg try and take that away? No, he can't. He didn't quite do that, probably because he's still busy trying to fight with Elation as they come down through Copse Corner now then. Around Copse we go before approaching Maggots and Beckett's now then, as he looks to the inside into Maggots, and Elation again shutting the door through that first part now then, as we ride on board with Ferdinand Habsburg through Beckett's, and then they'll all approach Chapel. Around that fast left-hander they go before going down the hanger straight up towards Stoke Corner. Habsburg getting in the slipstream of Elation. He's trying to tuck up before Stoke Corner. Elation tries to go defensive. Habsburg down the inside into Stoke Corner. Has he got this one worked out this time? Down the inside he goes. Has he got the place? And has he done so? It looks like Elation's still sticking with us. Newgarden takes it from Sette Câmara to 6th place. Goes Josef Newgarden as Habsburg and Elation still stick side by side. Through into Vale Corner now then. And Habsburg having to leave the space a little bit, but he finally gets some momentum coming out of Vale. And up into 4th place goes Ferdinand Habsburg. He takes the place from Elation, and now Elation will have to worry about the other championship contender, Josef Newgarden, as he tries to reel him in now for 5th place. Will Habsburg now try and close up to 3rd place Buemi as Kubica continues to get away, and I wonder if he is starting to close up on race leader Nick Heidfeld at the moment as they go through Priory and then approaching Brooklands. They will go. I'll be very interested to see what the gap is like between the top two at this stage of the race now then, as they go up towards Luffield 1 and 2 now then, as Newgarden getting close to the backside of Elation at this stage. Through the second part of Luffield we go before heading up towards Woodcote. I'll have a quick look and see what the gap is like, as Heidfeld is now at the halfway stage of the race, lap 6 of 12, and in fact Heidfeld sets another fastest lap of 1:31.745, so that will not be positive for Kubica. Going around Copse Corner, the gap between him is 1.4 seconds, as it's 1 second exactly between himself and Buemi. As Habsburg is now leaving Elation for dust, as he now tries to set off and chase down Buemi for 3rd place as they go through Beckett's now then. Newgarden still has Sette Câmara all over him, so Câmara is still a bit of a worry for Newgarden, but Newgarden looking to pounce on Elation, seeing if he can try and grab 5th from the Russian as they come down the hanger straight now. Then will Newgarden go for the move? He's going to go to the outside. That's not wise considering Sette Câmara is close. Sette Câmara going to try and take advantage, but Newgarden shut the door. He realised what he did and keeps out of 6th for the moment. Now Grassi's bought into that battle as he's now left Ferrucci for dust because he's still busy fending off. But having saying that, it looks like he's closing back in, so it looks like we could have a train forming up for 5th place at this stage. Ferrucci still going defensive at the expense of power, as now through the right-hander we go, as they now approach the quick left-hander Abbey before going downhill towards Bridge Corner now then for the 6th time today. And Heidfeld still with a bit of a gap in front of Kubica in this race now then, as he looks to try and get his 2nd IFMC GP3 victory of his career, the first coming from season 2 back at Valencia. It was race 2 in fact when he was part of the now defunct Republic of Ireland racing team. Up towards Luffield A goes Heidfeld, and he will now approach Luffield B on the track as he will now start lap 7 of the race, now approaching Woodcote Corner, and now starting lap 7. Lap 7 goes Nick Heidfeld as he now approaches Stoke Corner now then on the track, as Buemi tries to close back into to Kubica. In fact, I want to see what the gap is like. In fact, it looks like Hubert's got a problem, because if you look on the bottom right, he's got a cross for Hubert. 1.7 seconds. Habsburg, I think, set the fastest lap. I think Hubert has got a problem. Let's try and find Hubert. Whereabouts is he on the track? And there it is. It's an electrical problem for Antoine Hubert. So he did have a problem. It was confirmed on the right, on the bottom right-hand side of Kubica, that that Hubert has got a problem, an electrical problem for the Frenchman, and that's his race effectively done with. As a result, as mentioned, Habsburg sets the fastest lap of the race, and Hubert into the pits to get that repaired, and maybe put on a fresh set of tyres, and maybe even a little bit of fuel to possibly just push and try and get a fastest lap in if he can, just to try and salvage something in this race, as we now look back at race leader Nick Heidfeld as he continues to keep the gap consistent between himself and Kubica. Even pulled 3/10 on him that previous lap. Meantime, Habsburg getting close now to the rear of Sébastien Buemi. He can sense a podium could be within his grasp, as that's that really as far as he's concerned. As they go through the flat out Abbey corner now then before heading down the hill towards Bridge corner now then on the track. Around the right-hander before approaching Priory and Brooklands. In towards the left-hander we go. As we now approach the Brooklands corner, Habsburg getting closer, trying to break that a little bit later than what Buemi is at this stage. In towards Lovefield A goes the Austrian now then, as Newgarden still stuck behind Elation at this stage. In fact, Elation is just holding up a huge train of cars at this stage as they come around Lovefield B on the track now then. Habsburg flat through Woodcote as he tries to get on terms with Sébastien Buemi as they come down towards Copse Corner. Heidfeld continuing to lead away. 5 laps remaining for him as he's increased the gap again to 1, as it's now up to 1.8 seconds, so increase the gap by another 10th. 5 laps remaining for Nick Heidfeld in this race, as we are 14 minutes away from the 3 o'clock mark, so we are 44 minutes away from the sprint race for IFMC GP2, as Habsburg trying to get close to the rear of Buemi at this stage, not close enough to try and get him down the hanger straight, which leads him into Stowe. So he's going to have to hang back for now, but he's still within his slipstream. Buemi can feel the pressure a little bit because he went very defensive into Stowe corner there then, as now they just feed it through the left-hander before approaching Vale and Club. And so now into these section of corners we go. Habsburg breaking that a little bit later than what he did there through Club corner, as out goes Santino Ferrucci. What's happened to Ferrucci? He's got a problem. Whereabouts is he on the track? And whereabouts is he? There he is. It's an oil leak for Ferrucci. A fiery oil leak for Santino Ferrucci. So the young American Santino Ferrucci is out of the race, and we're down to 21 runners. Whether he'll be classified, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know if he has completed 90% of the race distance, but we will wait and see. But Ferrucci out, and we're down to 21 runners. As unseen by the cameras, Newgarden is up to 5th. He passes Elation at last, so up into P5 goes Josef Newgarden in the Dacia El Dorado. So that's that for him now then. As Hubert and Fuoco found themselves to the rear. Maybe Fuoco has made a mistake somewhere. As we know, Hubert had to come back into the pits after an electrical problem came his way. So that effectively wrecked his race. Meantime, back to this battle for 3rd place between Buemi and Habsburg. Habsburg now right on the rear of the Swiss driver now then, as I go through Lovefield A and B on the track now then. Round the final few corners up towards Woodcote we go. And Habsburg with a lot of confidence in that Auto Jamaica car. Rounding Woodcote now then. 4 laps remaining for race leader Nick Heidfeld. We're on lap 9 of 12 now then. Here at Silverstone. Round Copse Corner we go. Heading up towards Maggots and Beckett's. Look how close now. Habsburg he's tucking up into his slipstream. He's going to look to the inside. Would he get the move done on Buemi into Maggots? No. Buemi shutting the door through into that first part there then. Around Beckett go the pair of them now then, as they feed away through the second part they go. And then around Chapel Corner now then. Habsburg now trying to get a run. Will he try and get him down the hanger straight? He tucks up into his slipstream. He's going to look to the outside. Not wise, Habsburg. Buemi fends him off there then and keeps hold of 3rd place. Habsburg's going to have to try again somewhere to try and get the place as they come around Stowe Corner now then. And if they're not careful, Newgarden might close up in these remaining few laps of the race. Up towards Vale and Club now then goes Habsburg. Buemi goes defensive into the first part there then. Rounding the left-hander now then on the track. Around Club Corner. And it doesn't look like Kubica is closing up to Heidfeld unless anything goes wrong. I think Heidfeld's looking good to pick up his 2nd ever IFMC GP3 victory and get Kennystar Motorsport's 1st ever IFMC GP3 victory. As well as they go around the Abbey now, then in the slipstream goes Habsburg, looks to the outside into Bridge, isn't quite working out, backside of that one, maybe try and get a run up and towards Priory now then, and Habsburg not close enough, going to stay single file into Priory now then, as they go around the left-hander now then, up towards Brooklands we go, and we will now approach the double right-hander of Lovefield A and B, in towards these right-handers we go. And now choosing a little bit of tarmac on the outside, round the final corner onto the pit straight we go before rounding Woodcote. Will Habsburg try and grab third from Sébastien Buemi? It's around Woodcote now then. Newgarden trying to get close to this battle if he can. 3 laps remaining for Nick Heidfeld as Newgarden now sets the fastest lap of the race now then. So he's now currently holding on to the bonus point for the fastest lap of the race. So it will be level at this stage in the Drivers' Championship, I think. If I'm wrong. No, in fact, I'm wrong. In fact, it will actually be still 1 point between them. Newgarden will still lead the championship fastest lap. Habsburg there had a go at Buemi into the first part of Maggots. Isn't quite able to make that work out. Up towards Chapel we go. Will Habsburg try and get a one on Buemi down the hanger straight. Tries to get in the slipstream of the Swiss driver now. They're down the hanger straight up towards Stowe. Buemi defending the inside. Can feel the pressure from the young Austrian, and rightfully so. Keeping hold of third place for the moment, but Habsburg either way still not close enough to get him at this stage of the race as they now come down towards Vale and Club. And will Habsburg try and dive it down the inside into Vale? He doesn't, thinks better of it, and remains single file behind Buemi through Club corner now. Then we go as Newgarden gets closer and closer now to that battle for that final podium place as they come out of Club corner now then before approaching Abbey. Here's Nick Heidfeld, the current leader of the race, heading down through Bridge Corner as the sparks continue to fly at the back of his Kennystar Motorsport car up towards Priory. And now around the left-hander he goes. And now up towards Brooklands goes Heidfeld as he will now approach Lovefield A and B on the track. Around the first part he goes. So Buemi still doing a good job keeping back Habsburg in his remaining laps. Round the final corner goes Heidfeld. He will approach Woodcote as he now starts his penultimate lap of the race, starting lap 11 of 12 here at Silverstone as he now goes down towards Copse corner now then on the track. Meantime, here goes Habsburg, looking quite rapid in that car there. Then he looked like he had a little bit of, he looked very aggressive coming out of there. Came so close to the grass on the outside, down the pit straight, trying to have a look at Buemi into Copse corner, wasn't able to make the move stick as they go through Maggots and Beckett's. Habsburg desperate to get that podium as his nearest rival Newgarden is getting closer to this battle. In fact, he's near the slipstream of Ferdinand Habsburg. Through the Beckett's we go now, then around Chapel. Will Habsburg finally get Buemi down the hanger straight? He tucks up into his slipstream again, looks to the outside. That's not very wise. Habsburg as again has to back out. Will Newgarden try and take advantage? Habsburg quickly darts to the inside in case Newgarden finds a way through, and now it's become a three-way scrap for third place between Buemi, Habsburg and Newgarden as we have these 1 and a bit laps remaining left in this race. Meantime, Elation trying to fend off from Grassi as unseen by the cameras he passed Sette Câmara, so up to 7th place goes Grassi as he now tries to chase down Elation for that final points place in 6th position as we have a three-way scrap for the final podium between Buemi, Habsburg and Newgarden. Down towards Bridge Corner now then we go as Heidfeld continues to lead the way at this stage. Up towards Priory will go the German. So now through the left-hander we go, and now through towards out of Brooklands now then we go before approaching the 2 Lovefield corners. Kubica trying to get close, but I don't think he'll get close enough to Heidfeld in the end to stop him from taking victory. I'll have to hope for a mechanical problem from Mr. Reliable to do that. But meantime, Heidfeld coming around Woodcote, and Nick Heidfeld is about to start his final lap here at Silverstone. It's been a brilliant race for the German Nick Heidfeld. He started on pole position, was able to get a good launch at the start, and from that point on, nobody really seemed to threaten him apart from Kubica on lap 1, but he was just able to keep his nerve, pull a bit of a gap with the help from Buemi, and Kubica just hasn't been able to respond to his pace at all. From that point, Heidfeld's been unstoppable, and it's looking good for him to take what will be his second IFMC GP3 victory, his first since race 2 at Valencia in season 2 with the now defunct Republic of Ireland racing team. As now, meantime, Newgarden's taking 4th from Habsburg. He possibly got him down to Priory, has a look at Buemi, but now Habsburg trying to retake him for 4th place, and he retakes the place for him. Buemi doing a good job keeping it back. Habsburg trying to dive it down the inside on Buemi as Newgarden tries to hang it around the outside through Habsburg, but Habsburg keeps on the 4th place, and well, that's that really at this stage. It's going to be level in the Drivers' Championship if Newgarden keeps on that fastest lap between Habsburg and himself. Sorry, it will still remain 1 point in the Drivers' Championship unless somebody else takes the fastest lap away. Then it will be level between Newgarden and Habsburg. Habsburg back in the toe of Buemi. He's really possibly got one more chance to try and get him. That's down at Priory. Through Abbey we go now then. Habsburg getting a run on Buemi. Tries to possibly look to the inside into bridge corner. Buemi shuts the door through into there, and I think that's done with. He hasn't got enough momentum. Habsburg defends the inside in case Newgarden tries to move on him in towards Priory corner. But meantime, here comes Nick Heidfeld coming around left field 1 now. Then for the final time around left field 2. Comes Nick Heidfeld, and Quick Nick is coming around Woodcote, and it is going to be Nick Heidfeld who wins race 2 here at Silverstone. Congratulations to him and the Kennystar Motorsport team. He takes his second GP3 victory and takes Kennystar Motorsport's first ever IFMC GP3 victory. Kubica finishes in second, Buemi just holds on for third, Habsburg 4th, Newgarden 5th, Aitken just holds on in 6th for the final points to Grassi 7th, Sette Câmara 8th, Power 9th, Kvyat 10th, Nasr is going to cross the line 11th, followed by trainer cars behind, Kaiser 12th, Aitken 13th, Button 14th, Andretti 15th, Kari 16th, Vinio 17th, Davidson with a battle with Aitken is just going to hold on. Aitken never really recovered after his crash from yesterday, nor did Button really, despite making a few places. Davidson finishes 18th, Aitken 19th for Waco. He's going to cross the line in 20th in the AYP racing car as they come around Woodcote for Waco. Finishes in 20th, and Hubert, after his electrical problem, is going to cross the line in 21st position. And that's that really. Hubert still looking for points this season, it must be said. So he's currently being outpaced this season by teammate Robert Kubica, who's just landed 2nd place today. Hubert crosses the line in 21st, and that's that then. So in the end, Nick Heidfeld is the winner here at race 2, and his first victory since race 2 of Valencia in season 2, a well-deserved victory from Quick Nick. So there you have it then, guys. After all of that, here's the results of race 2 here at Silverstone. Nick Heidfeld won the race with Robert Kubica in 2nd, Sébastien Buemi in 3rd, Ferdinand Habsburg 4th, Josef Newgarden in 5th, with Michael Alish in 6th, Lucas Di Grassi 7th, Sérgio Sette Câmara in 8th, Will Power 9th, Daniil Kvyat 10th, with Felipe Nasr 11th, Kyle Kaiser 12th, Daniil at 13th, Jenson Button in 14th, and if we scroll down the rest of the field, it is Marco Andretti in 15th, Nico Kari in 16th, Aero Vinio in 17th, with Anthony Davidson in 18th, Jack Aitken in 19th, Antonio Fuoco 20th, with Antoine Hubert, the last of the finishers, in 21st, and the only retirement being Santino Ferrucci thanks to his oil leak. He wasn't able to complete 90% of the race distance. So let's see who set the fastest lap of the race then, who's going away with the bonus point, and it was Josef Newgarden with a 1:31.360, so the gap remaining the same in the Drivers' Championship, 1 point between himself and Ferdinand Habsburg. He set a 1:31.360, which was 1/10 quicker than his nearest rival, Ferdinand Habsburg. So there you have it then, guys. That's been it for GP3 this weekend. They'll be back next weekend at Magny-Cours, but stick around now, guys, because coming up next is the sprint race for IFMC GP2, which sees Joel Eriksson on pole ahead of Sean Galal and Luca Giotto. So if you want to go and grab a quick drink, then you can. The podium for GP3 is coming your way just after this, but until then, I've been JWF1. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. Enjoy the GP3 podium.